Hi, my name's Courtney. I'm from Warrington, PA. I'm going to be staying at the Ronald McDonald House for 2 months for my diagnosis of aplastic anemia. I really appreciate the food that the Ronald McDonald House has to offer for their kids here. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to Served with Love. I'm your host, Jared Johnson. Today's episode is sponsored by ELAP Services and Eagles Fly for Leukemia. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's episode. But not just today's episode, these are our first 4 episode sponsors, so we're very excited about today's episode. Gazpacho.
Hey everybody, this is Joe Vendetti, Manager of Provider Relations for ELAP Services. I'm here with my cooking partner slash unicorn, Vera, and we both hope you're enjoying the show. We love gazpacho, right? A lot. And we just both can't wait to see Chef Jared's take on the classic Spanish dish, right? Mwah. Enjoy.
For those of you who don't know what gazpacho is a cold soup typically served in the summertime, and it consists of lots of fresh vegetables. We have a great garden here, and we have lots of fresh vegetables that we've pulled from our garden, and we're going to make this gazpacho today. Gazpacho is a Spanish soup in origin, and it actually originated about 2,000 years ago when the Romans first did a conquest of Spain. They brought a gazpacho-like recipe with them that had stale bread and garlic and vinegar, water, and olive oil. And over the years, the Spanish have added fresh vegetables to it, and it kind of evolved into the gazpacho that we eat today. So we're going to be starting with cucumbers, red onions. We have some great Cubanelle peppers and some yellow bell peppers, and some really awesome heirloom tomatoes. So I'm going to start with these cucumbers here. I've already peeled and halved them. Now we're going to cut each half in half. And then what I like to do is just go around with my knife in like a V kind of pattern, and the seeds will come right out. Like that, and then we can just get rid of the seeds. If a few seeds end up going into the processor, that's okay. We just want to make sure we get rid of most of them. And these pickling cucumbers, because they have so many seeds and cucumbers are so full of water, if you leave too many seeds or too much of that jelly that's inside the cucumber, it's going to dilute your gazpacho and it's not going to be as flavorful. So what we're going to do is just put our lid on, and this has a pulsing mechanism, so I can just pulse it a few times until I get it to the consistency that I want. You don't want to over-process. And that's about right there. The cucumbers come out, and then we're going to go through a series of doing that with other vegetables. So now we're going to go with onions. I have a Cubanelle and I have an Anaheim pepper here. Just want to get rid of the tops, get rid of the seeds. These just got a rough chop too. All right, so now we're going to do the tomatoes. And the tomatoes, a lot like the cucumbers, have a lot of water in them. So when you do the tomatoes, you want to knock out some of the seeds and the jelly that are inside. I'm going to take the core out. And then if you cut it in half, you can see inside the cavities all of the gelatin and everything that's in there. So what you want to do is just take the back end of a fork or a spoon, and you can just get right inside there and knock that out. All right, so that's pretty much cleaned out. I'm going to go ahead and clean out the rest of these, chop them up, and then we'll process them down. So we have all of the red tomatoes in. I'm going to cut up the yellow and green tomatoes now, but when I process those, I'm going to add a few leaves of basil when I put them in there. I think it looks pretty good right now. We process these so that they are chunky because we want this to have a chunky type consistency. However, a lot of gazpacho recipes called for the gazpacho to be pureed or to have a really fine consistency. So in that situation, we're getting ready to add other things to flavor our gazpacho. But if you were going to make a pureed gazpacho, instead of using the food processor, I would use a blender. And I would put all of the vegetables in, except the olive oil and the vinegar and the salt and pepper, and blend it in until it's all nice and processed and all one good smooth consistency. Then you add your vinegar, salt and pepper, and slowly add your oil in, and you'll end up getting that really smooth consistency that you're looking for. But we're going to serve this today chunky style, and this is the way that I like to do it in the summertime. So we have our chunky vegetables in, so we're going to add some vegetable juice. You can use tomato juice, you can use Clamato, but I prefer to use V8 because it has a lot of other vegetables in it. So we're going to use 3 cups of V8. We're going to give a hefty pinch of salt, probably 2 big pinches. Lots of black pepper. It's about 3 cloves of garlic. You can add as much garlic as you like. If you like it, have lots of garlic in there. Really good olive oil. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of olive oil. And we're going to add sherry vinegar. You can use white wine vinegar, you can use red wine vinegar, but I think sherry vinegar really makes a nice, bright flavor addition. And it's also traditional in Spain and Portugal. And we're just going to stir this up. Just want to move it around. You want to make sure that the salt that you put in there gets evenly incorporated. The olive oil and the vinegar get mixed all the way through. Oh, it smells so good. I cannot wait to get into this gazpacho. Looks terrific. Let's give it a taste. Oh man, it's perfect. Everything that you love about the summer in one bowl. You never had to turn the oven on. So the way I like to finish this is just a dollop of Greek yogurt. If you're vegan, you can leave this part out. And then what I like to do is add something a little bit salty and a little bit crunchy. I have some chorizo here that I just rendered down in a pan. You can fry it up just like you do bacon. I just chopped it into little bits and fried it up in the pan until it gets nice and crispy. And then we have some great grilled bread here that we did as like croutons. So if you wanted to keep this vegetarian or vegan, I would omit the chorizo that we're using, which is a traditional Spanish charcuterie, and I would use Marcona almonds, or just regular almonds if you can't find Marcona almonds. But Marcona almonds are a very traditional topping for gazpacho. So we'll take some of this, give a little sprinkle there. It's just going to add a little salt and a little texture to the dish. Couple of croutons. So then the last thing I like to do is just get a little bit of fresh basil, just to accent some of that basil flavor that's in there. And then I come back with just a little drizzle of olive oil over the top, just to finish with a little of that really good olive oil. And there it is. Very traditional gazpacho. It's like it right from Spain, but it came out of our garden. So that's this week's episode. Thank you so much to ELAB Services and Eagles Fly for Leukemia for sponsoring today's episode, but not just today, for sponsoring 4 episodes of Served with Love. Chef Ruben Harley, aka Big Rube, is in here on Saturday night and did an awesome soul food spread for our families. We did the Eagles Fly for Leukemia night at the zoo, and we did it virtually. Big Rube came in and did soul food. He did fried chicken and waffles and cornbread and collard greens. The families loved it. It was awesome. So thank you so much, Eagles Fly for Leukemia and ELAB Services. Also wanted to give a special thank you to our additional sponsors for today, Hormel Foods and Cisco of Philadelphia. Thank you so much, guys. Stay tuned for next week's episode, where we're going to be joined by Big Rube here in the kitchen and cooking up some of those chicken and waffles he's made so famous here in West Philly. If you'd like to sponsor an episode or donate to our food services program, please visit www.phillarmh.org/Chef Jared. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. For ingredients, recipes, and information on how you can support our food services program, please visit us on the web at www.phillarmh.org/Chef Jared. You can also contact me with any questions by email at chefjared@phillarmh.org. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Steve Kelly. I'm the CEO of ELAP Services, and we're delighted to be sponsoring this episode of Served with Love from Chef Jared. Back in the early 70s, when the first Ronald McDonald House was formed right here in Philadelphia, There was a guy that worked for the Eagles by the name of Jimmy Murray, and Jimmy remains active with the Ronald McDonald House to this very day. And something Jimmy likes to say all the time is that this effort of supporting Ronald McDonald House, fighting pediatric cancer with the good people at CHOP, the work done at Eagles Fly for Leukemia, all of this is just part of a big relay race. We do our part and we hand it to the next person, rest for a bit, and then get back up and join the race again. So consider this episode of Serve with Love one lap in the race, brought to you by ELAP. And we're delighted to be part of this, and we look forward to supporting future projects here at Ronald McDonald House. Best wishes to Susan Campbell and Chef Jared. Bon appetit. Thank you.